Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday morning, November 11th. November 10th. Got ahead of myself there. November 10th. Tomorrow's Veterans Day, but I know they're celebrating it today. I think most post offices and banks and things of that nature close. And again, to anybody who did serve, or who has served, and is serving, thank you for your service. Seriously. One of the last things we have in this country that really means something these days, so thank you. As far as our market goes, yesterday, the last 2 days we had things that both the Bulls and Bears want to do. 2 days in a row, the Bulls failed at getting October's high in the futures. Finally, the Bears succeeded in what they needed to do, which was to put the daily back into balance. So now we're in a 5-day balance in the S&P, okay? Last Friday's low is the low of it. So if we are able to come out of that, we'll see if we do fill that gap. Again, it's a pretty sizable gap, but we'll see. Remember, if we do get into it, you now have 5 days of longs underwater, okay? Whoever's still long. NQ, I'd probably put in a 3-day balance. So if they take out Tuesday's low, probably put them down, okay? Look, this is healthy in the bigger picture if the market wants to, right? Just like sometimes the market has to rally before it breaks, same on the other way. Sometimes we got to pull back and shake out some weak longs before we can go higher. What you don't want to do is continue to go down, right? And go to down on the daily, and then at some point the weekly comes out of balance to the downside. So those are things you want to avoid. Righty, definitely a concern. They had 3 sets of single prints yesterday. Right now they're trading in their lower distribution, okay? As are ES and NQ, okay? Don't forget, NQ had one little tick of single prints. We have a small one. We've spent the whole day, overnight, in lower distribution. So what's the game plan? Obviously for the Bulls, if they are able to take out the overnight high and get into the upper distribution, value would go from lower to at least overlapping the lower and maybe unchanged. Remember, look at this. There's a huge price vacuum in here, right? Don't forget, we were 7 for 7, not 7 for 7, but we were 7 wide up here, which never got lowered. So if the Bulls are able to get acceptance back into value, not much there to the upside, which would then put you in place to possibly test the monthly high from October. On the flip side, if you can't get acceptance into the upper distribution, your value will be lower, or at least overlapping the lower, and then I would think you have good odds of taking out or testing yesterday's low and getting into the gap. Right? That's your early game plan. So, that being said, with 75 minutes to go, depends where the overnight high and low is, but again, you can definitely, if the overnight high is here, that's a really good risk-reward short. Right? Your out is basically inside of value from yesterday. So that's a good risk reward short with the lower value if it stays there. On the flip side, where is a good long? Now again, yesterday's low doesn't mean anything anymore, right? It's not the bottom of the balance. Last Friday is, and we already took out a daily low. So what's more important to me? The overnight low. Remember, yesterday we came so close to the overnight high, failed, and then got that overnight low and spent the majority of the afternoon below it. So those overnights are very important. So early on, I would not be looking for a long at this level, okay? Now, in the next 75 minutes, if we open, say, inside of value above J's high, if we get the overnight high right away and then pull back against the overnight, the lower distribution, then I would look for a long there. Okay? All early plays. Don't forget, we will recap all of these charts tonight. Just going to show you the daily. It's a 5-day balance. Now, don't keep in mind, both ES and NQ had outside days down, so we'll see if they get any follow-through on that. Good luck trading. Thanks for the likes and subscribing, and we'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.